viewers, my name is Natashea and welcome to my channel. My channel is where I talk about money on Mondays and luxury on Fridays. So if you want to learn how to make your money work for you on Mondays and then learn how to fabulously spend it by the end of the week, this is the place for you. So go ahead and subscribe, watch this video, and if you like it, go ahead and like it. If you don't, let me know in the comments what you don't like. If you wanted me to expand on topics even more, then I can go ahead and do that. So, all right guys, so as you can see, I have moved, and so my equipment is a bit all over the place, but that's okay. I'm recording off my phone today because that's the only option I have. So next week's video should be better. I'm really excited about this series because as a young Black girl, I don't see enough of us investing. I don't see a lot of women investing. I don't see a lot of people my age. So there's a lot of categories in this that I feel like my representation matters in how I've invested. And I'll just go ahead and disclaim that I'm not a financial advisor, and this advice or topics I'll be discussing is strictly based on my personal experience and is in no way certifying whether it is 100% correct or if that is the only way to do things. I think the best way is to always learn for yourself, self-education. So I'll always include a lot of articles in my description that will give you guys resources to research for yourself and figure out how best to go about investing for yourself. So these are the things that have worked for me. I used to work in the finance industry, but now I'm in the tech industry. And so now I have the opportunity to invest without a lot of restrictions. And so it's a good time to be alive. Basically, today's topic is about whether or not you should keep your savings in a savings account or if you should put it in the stock market. But my opinion is you should put it in the stock market with certain guidelines, with certain stocks and ETFs and securities that are low risk and much higher yield than a savings account. So first I'll talk about savings accounts. Right now, the Federal Reserve has lowered the national interest rate so low that banks cannot afford to pay people more than 1.5% in interest right now on their savings accounts. So no matter how high yield your savings account, no one is getting over 1.5%. Of course, this changes daily, and as of February 2021, right now, you cannot get over 1.5%. And the reason, for some people, they're like, that's great, I'm at least guaranteed not to ever lose my money, right? But you have to consider this. There's also inflation. Like, your money year over year is not as powerful in buying stuff as it is. Like, the buying power decreases, and the way they measure that is by inflation. So the inflation rate is between 1% and 2%. Year over year. Last year I think it was under 1%, which is weird. I don't think those numbers have been finalized yet when I looked it up. And as I said, I'll put resources in my description so you guys can read about it yourselves. And on average, you're gonna be between 1% and 2%. So if you take that away from the 1.5% you're getting from the bank, you are basically making nothing from your money. Your money is not growing outside of you putting more money into your savings account. So my advice is to find ETFs, exchange traded funds. ETFs are exchange traded funds that are a basket of securities that are sold in a group that have certain criterias. And for any ETF you decide to invest in or to put your money in, you can always look it up, do research, Google it. Just Google the name of the ETF, and you should be able to find tons of information from the SEC website, from all kinds of resources that will help you understand what that ETF has bundled in its securities underneath. My favorite one that I have a lot of my personal savings in is the S&P 500. The S&P 500 was established in 1957, and year over year it has made an average of 10% per year. If you take into account inflation, you will be basically making about 8% per year after inflation, and that is way higher than the 0% or negative percentage you could possibly be getting just by keeping your money in savings account. Yes, the stock market fluctuates, and it's always a good idea not to sell when it's low, especially when you've done your research and you know it is a sturdy ETF and it is a sturdy bond fund or whatever it is that you're putting your money in. So, just hold tight. Investing is about the long game. It is not about making quick money or making tenfold in, a month or two. That rarely happens. It does happen, but it rarely does. And when you're considering the importance of your savings account, you want to go with the lower risk options, in my personal opinion. Another stock I like is SPG. It is for Simon Property Groups. They pay a pretty high dividend yield, which basically means like per quarter, which I think they pay per quarter. Per quarter, you get a certain amount of money per share that you own. So you can, with that dividend, you can either decide to get it as a payout, or what I personally do, I have it reinvested, so it just buys more stock with the dividend that I purchased. So each time, even if I'm not putting in that much money or I'm not putting any money at all, when you have a dividend yielding stock, you're gonna always end up with more and more shares if you're reinvesting your dividend into the position. So yeah, SPG is another good one. I actually found a really awesome article on Investopedia. Investopedia is a great resource for researching information. They have a lot of things that are very helpful, a lot of facts. If you're like me and love reading about numbers and, history and trends, this is the right place for you. So I found this article that has seven easy to understand ETFs to replace your savings account. That's what kind of spurred this video for me. And so they've listed quite a few, and there's good descriptions underneath. And they talk about the fund fees, which is another thing you have to consider when you're investing in like funds, basically, and not just regular stocks. When you're investing in index funds, you have to consider the cost it's going to cost you to be in that fund or ETF, and the cost just comes out of your position. You don't have to pay it outright. It gets subtracted from what your stock value is or your portfolio value is. So that was a really all over the place explanation of the reasons why I think it's really important for people to personally put themselves in the stock market and do that, because a lot of us millennials, a lot of Black women, I don't see enough of us doing that. A lot of people my age, which I'm 31, I'll be 32 soon. And so yeah, I think it's important. So this whole series will be focused on just practical, everyday things that we can all do to watch our money grow in the stock market, to watch it grow with other asset investments like commodities. I subscribe to the simpler method of investing. So we will get more into that as the series goes on. But yeah, if you don't think this is a great idea, just consider this fact. When you put your money in a savings account, the bank takes your money and makes investments into the S&P 500, and they make investments into ETFs that they've researched, and they put money even into riskier things, because guess what? It's not their money. It's your money that you put in a savings account that they're using on a daily basis to invest in the stock market. They pay you a percentage and a half, but they're sometimes making 10, 20, 30%. Return on your money. So instead of allowing them to do that because they've done their homework and they're using your money to make more money, I think it's important that we educate ourselves and watch our money grow. So we have more money for Chanel. I'm just saying, that's just my thing. So anyway, I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and I will see you on Friday with a luxury topic. Thanks, you guys. Bye.